All right, so this is the Analogue 3D. I've had it for a while now, actually. I ordered it like right when it was announced. Basically, if you've never seen this, it is, as you can kind of tell here, an N64 but modern, right? So it's made by a company called Analogue. They came out with Pocket, I think it's called, which played like old Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Here's the thing, I wanted to make a video just so if this sounds cool to you and maybe you're thinking about buying one, I just want to be real with what this is. It's very simple, okay? So we'll get into some of the specs and stuff. It just plays old N64 cartridges, okay? So if you have those laying around, you can put them in here. Emulation has become a big thing where you can play ROMs, right? You can even download illegally, they're very available online, ROMs of old games, put them on like little handheld systems and play those games. This is not that. You can't load ROMs. You have to have the cartridge. Now, I think with the Analogue Pocket, maybe someone came up with a way of getting around that and playing ROMs on it. That might happen with this, but it'll be hard for someone to figure that out probably, and it'd be really complicated for you to figure it out if you buy this. So this is if you have these games laying around, or if a friend does, or if your mom and dad do at their house, right? You can grab these games, put them in here. Now the cool thing is, there's some updated specs here, right? Like it's not just that system. First of all, as you can see here, you've got HDMI, right? And this can play up to 4K on 4K TV. So it upscales everything. There's some pretty interesting settings. I'm gonna hop over to my little gaming setup here in a second and show you that you can sort of pick through to make it have that real retro feel. But HDMI, you can update this thing by using your computer through the USBC, which is also the power. You can plug in the old N64 controllers, so that's pretty neat, but you can also use Bluetooth controllers. So there's certain controllers. This one here is by 8-bit though. They made this controller specifically for this system. It basically has the same buttons that are on an N64. It's just laid out more like a modern controller. So there are other companies that make Bluetooth legit N64 shaped controllers, which I kind of wish these were, if I'm being honest with you. That like holding the middle part of the controller was like such a feel and a vibe. And it was also always so weird to me, like I never held this size. Like most games I was playing with that middle section, which is maybe the point of this, right? Like they want to give you more of like, you're using the whole controller. I don't know. This is a really nice controller, don't get me wrong. It feels amazing. There's rumble here. You can even choose like different rumble packs that are sort of emulated, I guess, in a way. That's really the only sort of emulation here, in my opinion. N64 to me was always the multiplayer machine, right? Like you had your Game Boys, you had, even to me, like PlayStation 2 felt very personal. This was like, I would go to a friend's house and we would play, you know, Mario Kart, or we would play Super Smash Bros, or GoldenEye, right? Or football or hockey, right? NHL. This was like that console. And so I think what's cool about this is it looks really nice. That looks like a modern, cool console. It's kind of flat, smaller, out of the way. You get the same kind of buttons and feel here. So it's like retro meets modern, and you don't have all those wires hanging off. If you get Bluetooth controllers, like that was the thing with the N64 and those old systems where you always had 4 wires running everywhere. They would get knotted and the wires would break over time. You have to buy a new controller. This is nice because you can just, it's just clean and simple. So I don't know, I think this is pretty cool. I think if you've got kids and you don't want them becoming obsessed over games, this is, hey, let's sit down and play Mario Kart together. Like, it only lasts a certain amount of time. Let's do it together, right? So if you have certain boundaries you want to put up around video games, but you still want your kids, your family members, yourself to experience gaming, short gaming sessions, things like that, this is kind of cool. But I really did want to hit on the fact that you can't just get this system and load a bunch of ROMs on here and play a bunch. You do have to have the carts, and these are a little bit expensive these days, right? So I went to my local like retro game store and picked up a few. All right, so I've got it plugged in here, nice and easy. Just has the USB-C power with an HDMI cable. I have my 8-bit controller connected, as you can see there on the bottom. So as I mentioned, very simple when it comes to, this is your home screen layout here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. There we go. Shout out to Juano for these monitor arms, by the way. We'll be talking about them in the future. So I have Mario Kart in here currently. You can see all of the cartridges that I currently have. So I do have Madden 99, and then I have Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, which is pretty fun. And it kind of shows you all the things there. This shows like it's a single player game. This is of course a 4-player game. This is Madden NFL, and it does show that there's a rumble pack that you can sort of put in here, which is neat. It gives you a little bit more information here, and then you can also configure some settings. So I kind of want to show, like in here you can do it, but let me actually hop into the game because I think you're going to be able to see it a bit better. So let's hop into Mario Kart, get it booted up. Nintendo, don't kill me please for showing this. Maybe I should turn down the volume a little. All right, so I don't know if you'll be able to tell this, but if I hop into settings here and I go to display mode, you've got CRT, you've got scan lines, you can do clean, which is like just a more modern look. I don't know if you guys can really tell the difference here, but there's the scan lines, there's the CRT. You can choose like the image size. Do you want it to fill the screen? Do you want it to stretch or be the original ratio, which is pretty neat. There's a cinema zoom as well. CRT scan, what was I trying to see? There's just settings that are like so slightly different, and I'm sure for someone who understands a lot of this stuff more than I do, it makes a lot more sense. You can see the hardware, there's a de-blur, 32-bit color off or auto, disable texture filtering, anti-aliasing, I mean. And then you can just play the game here, you know, as you used to as a kid, and you can see like this is a 4K being output from the machine, but it's showing that retro vibe because I've chosen to add like the scan lines and stuff, so it gives that vibe, which is pretty cool. If I hop in here, let's see if I can, let's do clean and we'll do stretch. So now you can see there's no scan lines, it's just showing like clean pixels next to one another, and then it's stretching out the image to fit the screen, which honestly doesn't look too bad. I don't know, I've really been enjoying this. I think it's super fun. I don't know if it's worth the price. You know, N64 wasn't like a huge part of my life, so for someone who maybe it was, this would obviously mean a lot more to them. But here we go, we're gonna give it a go here. It's so fun. I started a little too late. But you can see like controller works perfectly fine. There's plenty of other controllers that you can use as well, which is fun. I'm absolutely terrible at this old game, by the way. I spin out a lot, which is when you go back and forth a lot and then you just spin out. So anyway, yeah, that's just a quick sort of little intro there. And then at any time you can come in here, you can play with your settings. You can say quit cartridge, which just takes you back to the main home screen there. So yeah, back over to the office. Cool, so this is neat. It originally launched with just a black and a white version. They have since come out with these like translucent colored versions, which I also think just look fantastic. You guys know me, I love minimal aesthetic, so black and white, good enough here. Most of the time, go for the black model. But yeah, I just wanted to make that quick intro. I'm not a huge nerd. I don't know a bunch about like retro gaming and ROMs. I enjoy playing them, so I just wanted to sort of give that perspective. If you're thinking about maybe getting one for your kid or your husband or wife or family member or whatever for Christmas, I just want to be real with you that this isn't going to be one of those, buy this and you get 1,000 games that you can play immediately. No, you do have to have the cartridge there, but I think it's worth it if that's something you're into. It's around $269, and I think shipping is pretty expensive too. So something to think about if you want to pay a premium price to play old games. You could also think about just going to your local retro game store, seeing if they have an old N64, and then find an adapter for your TV. That's also an option. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. On this channel, we talk about tech that marries form and function. We like tech that improves our lives and looks good while doing so. So if that sounds cool to you, please subscribe. Also, we have a website called formfunction.co, which you can check out all of our favorite products there. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it. Watch this video next. I think you're gonna love it, and we'll see you all in the next one.